factorize the expression of the form a raised to n plus b raised to n first. Now we'll take a few cases, I mean two cases. The first case we will consider is when n is an even number. Let's say if n becomes equal to 2. Okay, so the expression becomes a square plus b square. Now a square plus b square को directly तो हम factorize नहीं कर सकते, yeah, but we can write this as a square minus of minus b square, right? So this will basically become a plus ib into a minus ib, right? Because when you open this bracket, this will become a square minus I square b square. I square is -1, so it becomes a square minus minus b square, right? Okay, so if you observe, there are no real factors here, right? I mean, these are not real factors. Okay, so we don't care about this part right now, because we want to discuss the real factors of the given expression. Okay, so the next possibility is that n is an odd number. If n is an odd number, let's say n is equal to 1, then the expression becomes a raised to 1 plus b raised to 1, right? And if you observe carefully, a raised to 1 plus b raised to 1 is nothing but a plus b, right? If you take n equals to 3, we'll get a cube plus b cube. Okay, a cube plus b cube का formula we have seen in the previous class, a plus b into a square minus ab plus b square, right? If we take n is equal to 5, we'll get a raised to 5 plus b raised to 5. इसका भी expansion है, a plus b into a raised to 4 minus a cube b plus a square b square minus ab cube plus b raised to 4. Okay, and if you observe carefully, guys, when n is odd, for a raised to n plus b raised to n, जो भी हमने list down किया यहाँ पे, all of these terms basically have a plus b as a factor, right? If you observe carefully, all of these terms will have a plus b as a factor, right? So we can write this in general. Okay, whenever we have a raised to n plus b raised to n and n is odd, a plus b is always a factor of the given expression. Okay, next I want you to remember this expansion of a raised to n plus b raised to n, this formula. Okay, because this formula we'll be using in many places. Okay, आगे जाके. Okay, we talk about the next type of expression, a raised to n minus b raised to n. Okay, in that case, suppose n is odd and n is even, we start with n being equal to odd. So a raised to 1 minus b raised to n हो जाएगा, which is a minus b. A cube minus b cube is a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. A raised to 5 minus b raised to 5 भी ऐसे ही होगा. So we observe that for all these particular expressions, okay, a minus b will always be a factor, right? Second case, when n becomes odd. When n becomes odd, let's say, second case is when n becomes even. Okay, when n becomes even, a square minus b square is nothing but a minus b into a plus b, right? So definitely a minus b is a factor in this case. You can also observe for a raised to 4 minus b raised to 4. A raised to 4 minus b raised to 4, guys, is nothing but a square the whole square minus b square the whole square. It's again x square minus y square expansion, right? So when you open, you get x plus y into x minus y. Okay, a square minus b square is a factor. A minus b, that means also is a factor, right? Incidentally, if you observe in this case, a plus b also is a factor of the given expression, right? Okay, same thing you would be able to observe for a raised to 6 minus b raised to 6. Okay, now in all of these expressions, when n is even, you observe that a minus b into a plus b is always a factor. That is, a square minus b square is always a factor, right? So in general, combining these two conditions, we can write that for any value of n, for a raised to n minus b raised to n, okay, a minus b is always a factor of the given expression. Okay, and whenever n is even, you can remember a plus b also is a factor. Okay, like the previous one, I want you to remember the formula here. I have highlighted it in block. Okay, state true or false. The first question is a plus 1 is a factor of a raised to 19 plus 1. Okay, there are multiple ways of doing this. You can also use the remainder theorem. Okay, a plus 1 is equal to 0 कब होगा? When a is equal to minus 1. When you substitute, इसका value आना चाहिए 0. In that case, a plus 1 will be a factor. Does it give you 0? Let's check. We'll put minus 1 in place of a. So minus 1 raised to 19 plus 1. Minus 1 raised to 19 is nothing but minus 1 only. It's an odd power. Plus 1 is 0. That means a plus 1 is a factor. Okay, that is also one more way out. The other way is you can observe the expression as a raised to 19 plus 1 raised to 19. It is of the form a raised to n plus b raised to n, right? And we observe that for a raised to n plus b raised to n, if n is odd, definitely one factor will be a plus b. Here in this case, it's a plus 1. So a plus 1 is a factor of the given expression. The statement is true. Let's go on to the next question, guys. A minus 1 is a factor of a raised to 28 minus 1. Same thing, you can put a minus 1 equal to 0. Ye kab ho raha hai? When a is equal to 1. Substitute a is equal to 1 here. 1 power 28 is 1 minus 1 is 0. So yes, it is definitely a factor. Okay, you can also use the expression we just now discussed. ओके, a रेज टू 28 माइनस 1 रेज टू 28, a रेज टू n माइनस b रेज टू n है ये, इसका एक फैक्टर डेफिनेटली क्या होगा, a माइनस b, राइट. So this is a true statement. This also is true. Next question. A plus 1 is a factor of a raised to 17 minus 1. Okay. Now, by remainder theorem, a plus 1 0 कब होगा? When a is equal to minus 1. Substitute here. Minus 1 raised to 17 minus 1. Minus 1 power 17 is nothing but minus 1. Minus 1 is minus 2. The remainder is not 0. So a plus 1 is not a factor. Okay, that is one way of looking at it. Okay, the other approach you may follow is for the expression a raised to n minus b raised to n. So for the expression a raised to n minus b raised to n, here n is odd, right? So iska ek factor a minus b hoga, which is a minus 1 in this case, and not a plus 1, right? So this statement is completely false. Okay, so let's write it here, false. Next question is a plus 1 is a factor of a raised to 18 minus 1. Yes, ये हो सकता है. A plus 1 0 कब होगा? When a is equal to minus 1. Okay, we substitute. Okay, minus 1 raised to 18 minus 1. Minus 1 raised to 18 will be 1. It's an even power. And minus 1 is 0. So definitely a plus 1 will be a factor. Other ways, this is a raised to 18 minus 1 raised to 18. Even power है ये. A raised to n minus b raised to n. अगर even होता है, we studied one factor is a minus b. Yeah, right. So in this case, one factor will be a minus 1, and hence this statement is completely true. Next one, a cube minus 3 is not a factor of a raised to 6 minus 9. Okay, so yes, you can put this part as 0. That means a cube will be equal to 3. Okay, let's put this value in the given expression. Okay, now guys, a cube is a raised to 6 is nothing but a cube the whole square, right? So it will be 3 square minus 9. 3 square minus 9 is 0. Right? That means a cube minus 3 is a factor of the given expression. That means the given statement is going to be false. Right? So we just put it here, false. Okay. Next question. A raised to 4 plus b raised to 4 is a factor of a power 20 plus b power 20. Okay. Now a power 20 plus b power 20 is nothing but a raised to 4 the whole raised to 5 plus b raised to 4 the whole raised to 5. Okay, odd power है ये, odd power. Okay, it's of the form x raised to 5 plus y raised to 5. इसका definitely एक factor क्या होगा? X plus y. So इसका definitely एक factor क्या है? A raised to 4 plus b raised to 4. It's a true statement, right? Find the remainder when 16 cube plus 17 cube plus 18 cube plus 19 cube is divided by 70. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's write it down. Okay. Now, guys, if you combine the first and the last part of the expression, you have 16 cube plus 19 cube, right? It's of the form a cube plus b cube. इसका definitely एक factor क्या होगा? A plus b होगा, right? So for this part of the expression, 16 cube plus 9 cube, we definitely have one factor as 16 plus 19, which is 35. Right? Same way, if you combine the middle wala part, okay, 17 cube plus 18 cube, what do you observe? It is of the form a cube plus b cube, right? इसका definitely एक factor क्या होगा? A plus b होगा. 17 plus 18 is nothing but 35, right? अब देखो इस expression का एक factor 35 है, इसका भी एक part 35 है. That means this entire expression is divisible by 35, right? Also, 16 cube will be even, 17 cube will be odd. 18 cube will be even, 19 cube will be odd. Even plus odd plus even plus odd, the answer is even. अगर ये sum even है, that means the number will definitely be divisible by 2. 35 से divisible है और 2 से भी divisible है. Okay, so definitely 70 से भी divisible होगा. 70 split into 2, co-prime this 2 into 35, isn't it? So remainder will be 0. Okay, remainder is 0. Okay, now there are many points here which need to be clarified. First is, many people tell me कि sir a cube plus b cube plus c cube plus d cube इसका एक factor a plus b plus c plus d होता होगा क्या? Okay, we can directly add all these four numbers as a cube plus b cube plus c cube plus d cube and say उसका एक factor a b c d होगा क्या? This is not always correct. Okay, you can take values 2 3 5 7 random values लेके आप check कर लो. 2 cube plus 3 cube plus 5 cube plus 7 cube उसका factor 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 शायद हो सकता है. Okay, many a times नहीं भी होता है. So you can't generalize. Okay. Second doubt which people ask me is कि ये वाला part 35 से divisible है, ये वाला part भी 35 से divisible है, 35 35 हो गया 70 से divisible. It is completely illogical. Why? Because ये वाला पार्ट सपोज 16 क्यूब प्लस 9 क्यूब इट इज 35 का कोई एक सपोज kth मल्टीपल, एंड ये वाला पार्ट जो है ये 35 का सपोज nth मल्टीपल है. व्हेन यू ऐड देम सिर्फ 35 कॉमन निकलेगा, 35 ऐड नहीं होगा, राइट? सो इट इज कंप्लीटली एब्सर्ड. ओके,